Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones votes in favor of controversial NFL change. The Dallas Cowboys are always one of the most polarizing teams in the NFL, and heading into 2024, it's no different. The Cowboys, who always have a target on their backs, are attempting to turn the success of the last 3 regular seasons into a run at securing another Lombardi trophy. Dallas hasn't won a Super Bowl since the 90s, and Jerry Jones continues to put pressure on his team, while often making head-scratching decisions along the way. Jones has publicly stated the Dallas Cowboys are all in for 2024, but has done almost nothing to add new talent to a team that lost several key players from last year's squad that was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. Instead of extending Dak Prescott, Jones is opting to let Prescott play out the final year of his contract, a move that's puzzling for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, Prescott might have his woes in the playoffs, but is in the prime of his career and is coming off one of his best seasons as he was in the MVP conversation for most of 2023. Secondly, reaching a contract extension with him now would be both cheaper than waiting, but also allow the organization to free up salary cap space, which is critical to add talent around him heading into a crucial 2024 season. Instead, Jones is letting Prescott play out the final year of his current contract, and it's very possible this will be his final season as the Dallas Cowboys QB. Beyond Prescott, there are 2 other monumental decisions ahead for the Cowboys brass. The most pressing is reaching a contract extension with star CeeDee Lamb, who is coming off his best pro season and wants to be paid like the top wide receivers in the NFL. Jones has repeatedly said the organization fully intends to reach a long-term extension with Lamb, but as June gets closer, no deal has been signed. On the other side of the ball, the Dallas Cowboys are prepping to pay their other superstar, likely before the end of this season, as star pass rusher Micah Parsons is currently playing on his 5th-year option and eligible for a new deal that will make him one of the highest paid, if not the highest, defender in the NFL. So once again, all eyes are on Dallas as the team enters a pivotal season that could alter the course of the franchise. Either Mike McCarthy, Prescott, and the current players on the team put together another great regular season and tame the dragon that has held them back in the playoffs, or there's a very real chance Jones blows up the current operation and hits the restart button heading into 2025. Commissioner Roger Goodell on Wednesday addressed the possibility of an 18-game regular season schedule among other topics at the conclusion of the Spring League meeting in Nashville, Tennessee. A potential 18-game regular season became a topic after Goodell offered on the Pat McAfee show last month a scenario in which teams played 18 regular season games, up 1 from the current 17-game slate, with 2 preseason games and a Super Bowl scheduled during President's Day weekend. Cowboys news: Dak Prescott answers questions about a potential new contract. Dak Prescott got questions and gave answers about contract talks. Many have wondered why the Dallas Cowboys have waited to sign Dak Prescott to a contract extension, but the quarterback has displayed a level of patience as well. "I don't play for money. Never cared for it, to be honest with you, yeah," Prescott said after the Cowboys' OTAs on Wednesday. "Would give it up just to play this game. So, I allow that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play, a person of my play, a leader of my play. For me, it's about, as I said, control what I can control and handle that part, and the rest will take care of itself. How much is a contract a matter of respect? I think it depends on personal relationships and position and how much that pay can affect others, understanding where I am, what my pay means to a team and to an organization," Prescott said. "I don't really take things personal. Maybe in my first deal, maybe things were a little different than they are now. 1, it's my age and who I am, where I am in my life, and I guess the fact that that first deal got done. The understanding that I have a lot of decision in this, too. I have a lot of say-so, too." As his contract status swirls, Prescott has not missed an off-season workout. Right now, it's about being my best for this team right now in this moment. OTAs is helping these guys out, and just focused on that, and I know my business will take care of itself, he said. Been in it before, experienced and just controlling what I can right now. Off-season practices are in full swing. Here are some things that have been reported. Ezekiel Elliott is being viewed as the leader of the RB's room, but it is already beginning to look like a committee approach as he and Rico Dowdle split nearly all of the first-team reps on Wednesday. Walker. Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe will need to earn their way into starting roles in 2024, beginning their journey taking second-team reps, while Chuma Edoga, left tackle, and Brock Hoffman, center, took the starting role to open OTAs. Walker. The battle for WR3 is off to the races, literally, as Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks were both targeted by Dak Prescott in first-team duties during full-team drills, but Kavonte Turpin was not to be denied, targeted heavily in 7-on-7 drills and catching at least one deep fade in full-team drills from Prescott. Walker. Trey Lance had several well-placed throws in full-team reps to open practice, including in traffic over the middle that only undrafted wide receiver Corey Crooms, 5 feet 11 inches, was in position to elevate and grab. It was completed, as Lance looks far more comfortable in his process now. Walker. Looking at some of the defensive rookies, Marshawn Kneeland won several reps against the Cowboys' starting offensive line, while Marist Liufau spent most of his practice time rotating between the first and second team, as cornerback Kalen Carson was assigned to the boundary for all of his reps, and not the nickel. Walker. The Trey Lance deal is still kind of an unknown. All forms of investment come from finite resources, and therefore go hand in hand with opportunity costs. Shocking proposed trade sees Cowboys acquire former 1,000-yard RB. Apropos trade would see the Dallas Cowboys acquire a former starting running back. In a list of shocking trade targets compiled by Bleacher Report's Alex Ballentine, Houston Texans running back Dameon Pierce is one of the players mentioned. The 24-year-old Pierce had a sensational rookie season for the Texans in 2022, running for 939 yards on 4.3 yards per carry while contributing 165 receiving yards in 13 games started. Ballentine argues that Dallas' lack of young, viable depth at the running back position would make the Cowboys an ideal landing spot for Pierce. A young running back with a higher ceiling would be a good addition, writes Ballentine. Most teams aren't willing to part with those players in a trade. Dameon Pierce might be an exception for the Houston Texans. Pierce had over 1,100 yards from scrimmage as a rookie but fell out of favor in his sophomore campaign. As Ballentine mentions, Pierce fell out of favor during the 2023 season when the Texans started shifting carries towards veteran back Devin Singletary. Making matters even worse is that the Texans acquired former Pro Bowl running back Joe Mixon from the Cincinnati Bengals. Mixon started 88 of his 97 career games with the Bengals since the 2017 season, rushing for over 1,000 yards in 4 different seasons. In other words, Pierce is the clear-cut number 2 and will likely play a complementary role to Mixon. Meanwhile, the Cowboys lack a clear-cut number 1 option, with veteran signees Ezekiel Elliott and Royce Freeman along with holdovers such as Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, and Rico Dowdle all competing to be the starting running back. The last 3 runners have yet to start a single game among them. Meanwhile, Freeman has started just 1 game since the 2019 season, and Elliott is one of just 2 active players with at least 2,000 career carries. Acquiring Pierce, a former 4th-round pick with just a $1.2 million cap hit for the 2024 season, would essentially solve the Cowboys' running back void with a bargain salary. While Ballentine doesn't mention exactly what round pick the Cowboys would part with, a 4th or 5th-round pick should be sufficient enough to acquire Pierce from the Texans. Perhaps a fresh start for Pierce would be good for both sides, and the Cowboys should be willing to part with a pick to have a shot at a young back with upside, writes Ballentine. Pierce obviously staggered through a rough 2023 campaign, rushing for 416 yards on 2.9 yards per carry, the lowest average among all running backs last season. According to Pro Football Focus, the advanced analytics paint a better picture of Pierce's play. Pierce posted a respectable 66.6 offensive grade and 64.7 rushing grade last season. The offensive grade ranked 64th among 130 running backs. However, he's proven he can excel before, and a fresh start in Dallas as the number one option with a couple of complementary pieces supporting him could help put Pierce back on the right track. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Dameon Pierce? Leave your opinion in the comments.